So, welcome guys, we're here at Origins 2018. I'm Alexander from thePlayersaid.com. I'm here with Grant, and we're sitting down today with Katie Aidley.
From Katie's Game Corner.
Yes.
There you go.
Finally get to meet.
We speak a lot online, so it's lovely to meet.
So thank you for coming over to America just to see us.
Well, you know,
really
how could I turn down the offer?
So we just wanted to sit down, fire off with some quick round of questions, so you guys can kind of get to know us a little bit, what we like in games. I just thought it'd be a bit of fun. So, to start with, question one, let's just introduce yourselves. Who are you, and where do you come from?
It's like a game show.
It is. Game show.
So I'm Katie Aidley, and I'm from. Where do you mean? What am I from? Like
I don't know. Brighton.
It's obvious where you're from, but where
so
are
I'm
you
from Brighton in the UK, and I've flown over for Origins, so I'm just here for the week.
So I'm Alexander. If you're watching this channel, you've probably seen us in a fair few videos. I'm also from England.
No, he's from Australia.
My accent betrays me.
From Australia.
I'm actually originally from a place called Southampton, where I grew up. It's about a couple hours away
not far from Brighton, actually.
So that's pretty cool. I live here in the US now. My wife's from here, and that's how I met Grant, who's my brother-in-law.
Which is an odd twist, but I'm Grant. I am a redneck. So the red coat and the redneck. That's kind of affectionately what we call each other. I'm from Columbus, Indiana. I currently live in Brownsburg, Indiana, on the west side of Indianapolis. I'm an American. Sorry for my accent. Yeah, that's who I am. And this is my brother-in-law. I married the oldest daughter in the family. He met me, was so taken by me that he married the youngest daughter.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not true. But
oh, so you're not brother?
No, we are brother-in-laws. Yeah, we really are. Sorry.
Not the other bit.
Yeah, right. Yes, we are brother-in-laws. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice.
So it's kind of cool. We both like war games. We like board games, and the first time I met him was over a game of Axis and Allies.
Okay.
Which I lost.
About 10 years. Well, of course you lost, man. Come on.
I cannot roll.
About 9 years ago, right? 8, 9 years ago?
That was a long time ago, yeah.
So that was the first time we met. We played for about 3 hours. I kicked the crap out of him, and he still kept coming back. So it was awesome.
Can't keep me away from those games. So, question 2. How did you get into wargaming? That's it. That's the question. How'd you get into wargaming?
I'll go first, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So growing up in my home, my brothers and I played war games. So that's how I got into wargaming.
What kind of war games do you play?
Well, we played Battle Master series from Milton Bradley, Axis and Allies, Shogun, Conquest of the Empire, Fortress America. We played others as well, but that's kind of what we started on. That was a long time ago.
We played, well, we had a couple of board games at home, but we would play kind of miniatures-based 1/72 scale wargaming, and it was its own catastrophe of how that went down. We'd play like massive games, and we'd do like one turn, it would take 6 hours, and then we'd go to bed, and that was it. But that's kind of how that started, and I've always had an interest in history and historical wargaming.
Yeah.
I got into war games. If you know me, you'll know this because I talk about it all the time, but from Twilight Struggle, actually. So I learned how to play Twilight Struggle, and Dominant Species, and that kind of introduced me to GMT. So that was like the first point of call for me, so GMT, so then I started looking into coin games and all that kind of stuff, and then it just kind of branched out from there to all the different publishers, and that was quite recently, like last year.
Yeah.
About 18 months ago actually, so quite
So
new.
younger people are getting into war games. You heard it here today, and that's a good thing.
I'm not that much younger.
Well, I know, but I'm old.
You are, yeah.
I'm old. I'm Greg.
So question 3.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say, yeah, you are.
Yes. Question 3 is, what's your favorite war game and why? My favorite war game is, I forgot the name of this. It's the Battle of Britain by Decision Games, designed by John Butterfield, and I just love it because you can play it solo. The campaign's really fun to play with, and I love the theme. I'm English, I'm biased in that way, but I loved watching the movie as a kid, and the film is just a movie in a box, and I love it.
Yeah.
At the moment, it changes quite regularly, but at the moment it's Colonial Twilight, published by GMT and designed by Brian Train.
One of my favorite Canadians.
I love Brian.
He's amazing.
Brian Train. He is amazing. I think I love it because it's a lighter coin game, as in, obviously because it's 2-player, it doesn't take as long, so it gets to the table more than, say, Pendragon or something with.
Right.
That's two ends of the spectrum, but it's a bit lighter in time. I'm really enjoying that period of history as well, so I've been kind of doing a lot of research and like watching the Battle of Algiers, so I'm kind of learning a lot about that time period, and I feel like it's quite a nice coin game to kind of introduce people to the hobby. So I've been playing that with people that haven't played coin or war games before, and I'm starting to convert people with that game, so for that reason I love it. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a hard question for me. I would have to say my favorite war game, and this is going to be sacrilegious, it's Labyrinth. I love Labyrinth. I love Twilight Struggle as well. It's my best game of all time. But Labyrinth is just, it'll twist you in a knot, tie you up. You don't know which way you're going. You are very good at playing the jihadists, by the way. And we have some really good battles, and I love it. I love it.
I love that. I used to play that when I had a bit more time, a lot solo. It's probably one of my favorites.
Solo games.
Solo games to play, actually. I love it.
It's great.
So question 4. If you could sit down with a meal and pick the brains of any wargame designer, who would it be? We'll start down here.
Mark Herman, 100%.
I gotta change my answer now.
I know everyone's is probably going to be Mark Herman, but I think for a lot of reasons, not just because he's very clever and designs incredible games, but he's actually just such a nice person as well, and kind of chatting to him a little bit through Twitter and the kind of interests he has. I just think it'd be a really interesting meal, a really interesting conversation, and he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, Mark Herman's great.
Yeah.
I agree. So mine is a designer I've become more connected with recently, Herman Luttman.
Yeah.
Herman Luttman has designed war games and non-war games. One game that we love that's not a war game is Dawn of the Zeds. We absolutely love that game. But we also love At Any Cost, and that's 1870. I've played Attack of the 50-Foot Colossi from
I love
him.
that, yeah.
That's a fantastic
I've
game.
been playing that a bit.
Race to the Sea. And then he's got some new games coming up, Crowbar, that we're going to look at today. So mine is Herman Luttman. Really, I wanted to say Mark Herman, but I knew everybody else would pick Mark Herman.
He's like the obvious choice, but I would love to be able to sit down with him. Yeah.
Herman seems like an amazing guy, too.
Yeah.
So I'd like to sit down with Herman Luttman. No. Mark Herman, no. Let's see, who would I like to sit down with? I'd like to sit, and this is cheesy because it's my favorite game, I'd like to sit down with John Butterfield. He does a lot of these solo design games.
He does.
Battle of Britain. He did the original D-Day games,
Omaha
Beach,
Sarawak.
Those are so much fun. And he did also, he did Enemy Action Ardennes as well.
And he's got Space Corp coming from GMT this
That looks great.
Great solo games. And to me, I love to learn how he comes up with the ingenious AI designs. That's a whole fascinating aspect of the games that is beyond me. So I consider him a genius.
I agree with that. He's awesome.
Question 5. So, what is your guilty pleasure game? As in, a game that might be considered corny or cheesy, but you just love it and you can't put it down.
I'm going to go first. And you'll probably kill me because you want to say it too. Hanabi.
No.
Yes.
No.
I love that game.
I love that game, but it's not corny.
It is.
I don't feel guilty playing that.
I don't think it's corny.
I love that game.
Maybe I'm wrong. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Go for it. Go for
Hanabi.
It's quite a tough one because I do play a lot of war games, but I also actually play everything else.
Right.
So I don't really have any games. I know this is not the answer you wanted, but I don't really have any games that I think were cheesy or corny.
Yeah.
But there probably are some. Probably.
I'm trying to think of another one while you're talking, but
games that I'm like
Liberty or Death. That's a bit corny. that's my guilty pleasure.
is it because your mother country was defeated in embarrassment?
So offended. So offended.
games that I love are just ones where I turn my brain off and it's just like things like Blood Rage. It's a guilty pleasure in the sense that how much strategy is required in the game.
It's a great game, though.
Maybe not that much, but I can't get enough of it. You just put guys on the board and
Fight
you
it
just
out.
smash each other, and it feels awesome.
That's a great game.
Good answer.
I'm not embarrassed of that one though. I'd play that one anytime.
Not really, but I'm like,
Maybe party games actually, I think, because they kind of fall under that cheesy.
Cash and Guns is one that I love dearly.
Yeah, Cash and Guns is
Cash
good
and Guns
fun.
is great. It's a little cheesy, but it's fun. It's great.
the next question is, what's been your favorite thing about Origins this year? You've been here for 3 days, we've only been here for the one day.
I'd say I haven't played any games, but just being able to meet everybody, like that's what a convention's about, I think, for me. Yes, it would be nice to meet to play games, but just being able to meet people and to sit down with the Grogheads guys, actually, that was really nice.
Yeah.
Just have a chat about how we can start making war games a bit more accessible, and how we can start to kind of bring more, attract more kind of younger people or a different set of people into the hobby. And they had some really good ideas, and I kind of put forward a few ideas.
Sounds like a good blog post.
Yeah, that was quite a good, quite a good conversation actually. So that was really nice, and just to meet some of the amazing designers and all the people on Twitter as well.
Well, my favorite part today is this is a really, I think, quaint environment. It's not very crowded. I don't feel thronged. I don't feel pressure. It's just really relaxed. And I've been to Origins. This is my 3rd year, and I've enjoyed it. I like Gen Con, but this I always have fun at. So that's my favorite thing. It's just relaxed.
It's nice seeing war games here. Because I've been to Gen Con before.
And there's not.
And it's Decision Games have a booth there where they sell them.
Columbia Games
are there. And that's really the extent of it. So seeing Lock and Load Publishing, Flying Pig Games.
And games being played.
Having them out on the tables, walking
games
around. That's it's really cool seeing that, where there's just a bit more of what I like. I love all the normal stuff that's at Gen Con, but seeing the war games on the table, I'm like, it's not just me on my own. Like, there's other people in this hobby, and that's really cool just to see that being played.
Agreed.
Okay, if you could visit the site of any historical battle in history, which one would it be? Do you want to start?
I'll start.
You got a good one.
Well, Normandy would be my... I've never been there, would love to go there. Also would love to see Paris as I'm there as well.
That's a good one, actually.
That would be my one place. I've been to a lot of American battle sites, American Civil War, Revolutionary War, but Normandy would be, for me, a dream.
And see, I'm spoiled. I've been to Normandy, I've been to Pontohawk, I've seen that, and it is incredible, worth every penny to go there. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend going there.
We're going to go one day.
For me, I'd love to go to some of the Pacific Islands, go to Iwo Jima, Tarawa, see those small atolls, because so much happened there, but it's what seems like such a paradise. When you look at it, I think that there'll be just some fascinating, some interesting history and feelings there as well.
True.
And I definitely didn't ask Grant to give me the answer to this question.
And this is something I learned in like 5th grade, I think.
I know, but you said it, and actually it is quite a good one. Probably Hastings, because it is so close to me. And I do know quite a lot about the Battle of Hastings because it is so close to me. But it is actually somewhere I have never actually visited. I've been to Hastings, but it's somewhere I haven't ever actually visited. So I think that would be quite cool to go there, actually.
Well, I was thinking your Command and Colors connection.
Command and Colors as well,
would kind of fit.
Definitely.
So,
last question. Final question.
Final question.
Thanks for sticking with us. So, if you could say one thing to the fans out there, what would it be? Who wants to go first?
Play more war games.
Now I've got nothing to say. Yes. There are so many good games out there. It can be overwhelming at times, but just play them. It seems like the community is tight-knit, and you always say, there's not enough people to play with. Look, just play them on your own. Just play them and play them and play them. Because the love for the games out there, I think we just need to keep growing it and expanding the hobby.
I think one thing I would say, and this is something I see on Twitter, just because you don't like a certain game doesn't mean that game is not good, right? I love CDGs. There are people that don't like CDGs.
Yeah.
But there's still it's a real medium, a real enjoyable experience. I just think give everything a try. Don't write anything off. Like, don't write off Hex Encounter, don't write off CDG, don't write off Euro, don't write off anything. A good game is
give
a good
it a
game.
chance. I think give it a chance. And I'd also say, as someone that is quite new to wargaming, relatively in comparison, don't be intimidating. Like when you do first play a coin game, or you maybe you jump into the deep end and you do want to try ASL straight away. You never know.
Right away, that would be
It could
amazing.
happen.
Someone's done it. Someone's
but
done it.
you know, everyone starts somewhere. Everyone's had their first war game, and there are people like ourselves that are there to help you if you've got any questions and lead the way.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So, had a great time here at Origins 2018. I've been Alexander from the Players Aid. Thank you very much for watching.
And Katie, thank you for meeting up with us.
It was so good to finally meet you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Thank
ya.
you. Bye.